YouTube, it's the Nitro RC Nerds here, and today what we're going to talk about is how to replace the universal joint on an OFNA Hyper 7. And while this car is without a doubt one of the most durable cars on the market today, during a recent bashing session, a pretty intense one I might add, it did sustain its first injury, if you will. In other words, the universal joint on it became bent, as you can see here. You can get a good example of it right here. Of course, when I apply some throttle, I mean it's obviously much more exaggerated. Now I did try and straighten the joint as best I could. I put it on a vise, and I was able to get it a lot more straighter than it currently was, but it's still not perfect, and so I decided to go ahead and just buck up and order a new part. And as you can see here, the part is a little bit on the expensive side, so but you know, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, if you want your car to run well, I mean, you know, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. And you can see the part number for this is 19347. The good news is it does come with two of them. So let's go ahead and pop it on. The very first thing you want to do is to simply remove the tire to gain access to the joint. And the next part is you want to remove this nut right here. And there's different ways to do it, but the easiest way that I found is to use your trusty T-wrench and a 2.5 millimeter hex screw. And you simply use it to hold this while you loosen the set screw. Once you've loosened the set screw, you're going to find a pin right here that allows you to remove the nut. The pin can sometimes be a little bit difficult to take out, and so it helps to have something sharp that you can use to simply poke the pin and pull it out like such. Once you've done that, you can then simply remove the nut. And now it's just a matter of removing the steering knuckle off of the C-hub here, and begin by using a 3 millimeter hex driver, and you just unscrew this top section here like this. Make sure, of course, as always, that you save the parts. And once you've done that, you can pull the steering knuckle off like such, and then you just simply pull out the joint. And you can see here where it is just a little bit bent. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that the joint here actually has a shim on it. If I can get it off here, right there. And I'm unsure if the new part comes with this shim or not, but it's always a good idea, even if your part is quote-unquote broken, to save it, because you never know when you might be able to reuse certain parts of it. But especially that shim right there, you want to make sure that you keep that. And I might also add that if you haven't in a while you have your steering knuckle off and you're doing this, it might be a good idea to go ahead and clean out your bearings. I actually just did this recently, so I'm not going to go ahead and bother doing it now, but anytime you have some components taking off like this, it's always a good idea to either clean or maintain certain parts that you normally cannot get to. And it turns out that the new part did not come with this shim right here. So let's see if, in looking at this, you're able to tell which one is the new one and which one is the old one. You can see here, this bend right here, that's the old one. And now simply what you do is you want to insert one end of the joint into this C-cup right here. You can see that there's grooves on the C-cup, and that's where the pins on the end of the joint go in. So now you simply take the knee joint, put it into the drive cup, make sure that the pins are in there. Take your steering knuckle. This can sometimes be a little bit tricky. You may have to gain a little bit more access, we'll see. But it appears now that we got it on good. And it turns. And then it's a matter of just going back and reversing the procedure. So you screw your steering knuckle back onto the C-hub. Now, one of the things that I just noticed is that I was unable to lock in this wheel hub onto the new joint, and I figured out there's a set screw that you saw me loosen earlier in the video that you would assume comes with the new part, but it doesn't. And this is why it's always important to have a exploited diagram of your vehicle, because you can see here that's the actual part right there that goes into the universal joint. So what I went ahead and did is took it out of the old one, and I simply screwed it in to the new one. Take your pin, get that aligned up there. Because this is new, I'm going to tighten a little bit by hand. Then we get a handy dandy T-wrench, and that's when we tighten the heck out of it. Now you simply get your wheel, pop it back on, and you're done. Thanks guys for watching. I'm going to go out now and enjoy my new universal joint. Have a great day.